Alright, so we have our final mock draft of the year. Um, I've already ran a couple of these, so see how this goes. I had my co-hosted draft this last weekend. Kind of ran through my own drafts. Kind of make a combination here. I have a few trades. Have my beads on where teams are looking to trade and where they're not looking to trade. So let's run through this best I can. Chicago, Caleb Williams. Not much to talk about here other than Bears are set up for a quarterback. He's the best quarterback available, so this is going to be who they get. I don't think anybody's predicting anything else. Second pick, little bit of rumors of trading, but not really. It's between Drake May and Jaden Daniels. 80% of experts say Jaden. I say Jaden. Me and my co-host said Jaden. Kind of the picture I'm getting here. Number 3 is where it gets fishy for sure. There is rumors that Patriots like J.J. McCarthy or Drake May here, but there's also rumors they really want to trade out. And seeing as how that's the biggest rumor, and everyone knows that the Vikings made moves to go up and to be able to acquire a quarterback. We're going to throw all this at them, make sure the trade goes through. It's probably going to be their first and next year's first, something like that. It'll probably be a little more than that, but. And then the Vikings, of course, are going to take Drake May. I think Drake May is going to be the third quarterback off the list. I'm almost positive on that. His tangibles, arm, however you want to say it, his arm movement, his arm motion, his arm potential is by far the best of the rest of the main guys. You could argue Penix's arm is similar, but Penix has injury history, so from his youth, he's younger than Penix, younger than Bo Nix, younger than JJ. He has the upside arm of a Josh Allen, something like that. So raw, yes. Could fail, yes. But the upside's going to push him out in the top 3. Cardinals, Giants could trade up here. I'm really tempted to see that, and that's kind of what I'm hearing. So the Cardinals did want to move back a few spots. I think this is where they would do it. Giants don't have to move up to get J.J. McCarthy because I feel like the Patriots, Broncos, and Raiders kind of sit there waiting for quarterbacks too. The Broncos, with their draft capital of moving back, could hop back up here by offering some, first and second, maybe 2 seconds and a first, something. But Cardinals haven't really been making many picks last year. They did a lot of trade backs. They got a couple firsts. They got the first here. They got another first at 27. I'd be really, I don't think that the offer would be strong enough here for them to be tempted to move out. So I think they're gonna go Marvin Harrison. It's kind of like everyone says. Neighbors, a little more explosive. Rome, a little better in the air for catching the balls, but Marvin Harrison, the most rounded, most pedigree, hardest conference. Chargers, same thing. Giants could move up here as well. Patriots could try to move up. I think there might be a race for J.J. McCarthy, but I think the Patriots trading out of that knew that they would get one of the 3 quarterbacks, and they're probably grading them all the same. So I don't think there's really going to be a fight for the 4th quarterback. So I think the Chargers might try to make a move here, but in the end, they're just going to end up settling on Joe Alt. Don't know if it's really settling, but I think that having 2 bookend tackles is important, and I think that's more important than a receiver to Jim Harbaugh. So I think that we'll pick the best player available, which would be Joe Alt. I think the Giants, all the rumors are hearing they do want J.J. McCarthy. I had him in our draft with my buddy going J.J. McCarthy, and my personal last mock, I had him picking Rome. More I'm hearing now is that they're really into quarterbacks and they want a quarterback. And I think if they don't have to move up to get one, they're going to take J.J. McCarthy. Number 7, I think Joel is who the Titans want, and I think they'd want to trade back if they didn't. I think a couple good options here for the Titans to trade back is if a team wants Rome or Neighbors. And I think the potential spot there would be the Jets. I am hearing Jets rumored to do that. I think if the Jets stay here, they're getting Bowers or Rome more than likely. And I think if they feel like Neighbors is a guy to take them to the top, they would trade here. But in the same time, they just did interview Brock Bowers. They still have Neighbors and Rome here. I think they're just gonna kind of sit. So I think the Titans are gonna want to trade this, but they're gonna kind of get suckered into just drafting the best available player, possibly tackle. And more than likely here, I think it's either gonna be a trade or they're gonna pass it back to tackle. And since All's not there, I think they're gonna be just trapped into picking Fashanu. Another option here is they might go receiver. So let me run that back really quick. I do think that it's gonna be Caleb, Jaden. We're gonna go back to our trade. Then it'll be May, Harrison, Alt, McCarthy. I do think the Vikings want Alt, but I think there's a big drop off after Alt. And more I think about it, I think they're going to go receiver. And I think they're going to go with a burner to go for the Titans. They do have Hopkins. They just did pick up the guy from the Jaguars, but they don't have a speed burner, and I think Neighbors would be more appropriate here. Number 8, I think Turner or Rome would be the pick here. I think once again, I think there could possibly be trade ups. One spot I could see is the Patriots moving up to get him, but I think the Patriots probably are going to stick because they needed their quarterback more than their receiver. So I think here the pick's either Rome or Turner. I think having 2 receivers might be more appealing to the Falcons. They go for a high-powered offense. Also heard rumors of Michael Penix possibly this high. I'm not sure I'm seeing that, but I think the pick will be Rome or Turner. Let's go Turner. Chicago Bears could get best defensive player. Turner or Latu, I would say, is a pretty good selection here. Maybe Verse, maybe Keanu Mitchell. I feel like the Bears might try to get out of this as well. I feel like they might have trouble finding this selection. They do need offensive line help as well. They might be, since Turner went off the board here, they might be suckered into Verse or Byron Murphy. I'm going to go Verse. The Jets will have their pick of Rome or Brock Bowers here. The more I think about it, they already got 2 decent receivers, so I think they're going to go Brock Bowers. They just exclusively interview him with Aaron Rodgers, so that makes sense. Patriots. I don't think Patriots in the win now mode, and I don't think they're gonna go quarterback. I think if they wanted to go quarterback, they would have went quarterback at 3. I think they'll pick the best player available here, and I think it's gonna be Rome. Broncos are gonna be thrilled to have a quarterback. I think their quarterback choice is gonna be between Bo Nix or Penix. I don't think Penix really fits the style, and he's more risky because of injury. So I think Bo Nix will go before Penix, and Penix will go right after him. I find it hard to believe that all the quarterbacks won't be off of 413, and that's what some places are saying. So I think that's what's going to happen. Saints. Saints could go tackle for sure. I think Fashanu here, I was putting him up here higher, but I think he's pretty raw and not very good in the run game. I think the Saints are going to want to give Derek Carr more protection this year. He was pretty beat up last year. Probably playing for a possible quarterback. Maybe Penix drops and they get Penix or something for the future, but I think they're going to build up their team, try to make a run with Carr. If they can't, they'll look for a quarterback in the next year or so. Colts here. Colts are going to be going for quarterback. I think they'll go for best available, so it'd be Quinyon Mitchell. Next is I can see between Kerryon Arnold and Nate Wiggins. I know that the Eagles really want a cornerback. Since there's a lot of people here that could take cornerback, I could definitely see the Eagles trading up here. I think to do this, it would be like this and this for this, and maybe something like a later pick. So Eagles on the clock are going to go best corner available here, and it's going to be Terrion Arnold. A little slower than Wiggins, but I think they're going to shore up that position with the best player available there. Jaguars are going to get the last of the three main quarterbacks, I believe. I think Wiggins is more of a shutdown, but Arnold's definitely more complete. Wiggins is not really like to tackle, and I don't think the Eagles are intrigued by that. The Bengals, more than likely to me, are going to go tackle or receiver. Best available tackle is Fuaga and Fatanu. Fatanu does give them some versatility, so I could see them definitely going Fatanu here. Rams are going to get best defensive player more than likely. I think getting Byron Murphy makes sense here, but also you can get Latu out of UCLA, so stays in California. I think Byron Murphy makes more sense so losing Aaron Donald. Pittsburgh, I think, wants to trade out of here for someone who wants the last tackle position. So that could be someone like the Cowboys. Someone trading up here for Mims or Latham, but Fuaga can also play tackle. Guyton can play tackle, so I don't think they're going to find a trade partner. So I think the Steelers, they're either going to go tackle or receiver. I think they'll go tackle. So my guess here, since they're going to go straight tackle, probably be Latham. Dolphins also need interior help. So you have Barton and Johnson here. I really like them going defense because they did lose a defensive member. So they could definitely go Newton here. They could also go Mims or Guyton here. I think to protect their, let's see, to protect Tua, I think they'll probably go something like Fuaga, who's got the versatility to play tackle and guard. Seattle's back on the clock. Would have really liked Fuaga there. Probably going to be really disappointed in that. Mims is more of a tackle. They need a guard or tackle, so Barton's a possibility here. I think with Latu available here, I think they'd have a really hard time passing him up, even with injury history. I could also see the Vikings, or the couple of receivers here that could go, so I could see this being a Bills trade-up spot. But I don't think that Seattle trade back twice. Might be too high for Barton. Latu's a little risky. They could take Newton right here. I think that's probably the play. Patriots on the clock. Patriots do need quarterback. Still haven't got a quarterback. So they're probably going to just build their roster up. Offensive tackle's a big need for them. So getting a Mims or a Guyton would be big. Cowboys also need offensive tackle. They also need defensive tackle. So probably to keep their investment. They'll go offensive tackle as well. Green Bay needs cornerbacks. I think we had Cooper DeJean going here. I got DeJean also going in mine, so I feel like that's a pretty good fit. So I'll just stick with what we've been doing. Tampa needs a pass rusher. I think Latu at this point is just way too much of a is worth the risk at 26 to possibly get the best pass rusher in the draft. Cardinals earlier got receiver. They also need defensive tackle, cornerback. Kool-Aid's available. Not really any defensive tackles here that I'd risk for. They do have Chop Robinson available. That's a pretty Arizona type pick, so I think Chop will go there. They like speed. Bills need a receiver. They wanted to trade up, but just like the last time we did our draft, if you just sit and let some of the tackles and defensive players go in this mid rounds, a lot of good receivers available. They're going to take receiver. Lions want a versatile defensive player, so they could get Kool-Aid here. They could get Robinson here. I think Robinson seems more like the Detroit pick, but he's not a true edge, so I sell they'll probably go Kool-Aid here. Ravens definitely need an edge. They like bigger edges. They also need a guard. Graham Barton makes a lot of sense this deep in the draft. 49ers need offensive linemen, also need defensive linemen. Defensive lineman here, Robinson to them seems really likely. Another pick that looks at them a lot is Rosengart and Morgan Sumatra. These tackles right here. I think their defensive line is okay. I think they'll probably go more for a tackle route. So I'm liking. I've heard a lot lately about. Where'd he go? From UW. Rosengarten I saw right here a lot. Could be Sumatra, Morgan, Arizona. I think they'll probably go best available here, which might just be Darius Robinson. The versatility he would provide at defensive tackle, pass rush, and outside would be big for the Niners. And then receivers, we know we're going to go receiver and Adion Mitchell, Xavier Worthy. Those are the two they're probably looking at. I think if Mitchell drops to them, that's who they'd pick. So some of the other scenarios I could see, I definitely see for trade wise. I think the Patriots are moving out for sure. I could see 4 or 5 getting jumped for McCarthy. The Giants might have to get trade up here if they hear a lot of talk about the Patriots moving back up, or the Denver, Oakland want to move up. They already said that they are interested in moving up. 7, I think this is an interesting spot if people want receivers. The reason I restarted the draft is I feel like Malik Neighbors goes really well with Will Levis. So I feel like having his big arm and this speed burner would be huge for the Titans. They are projected to get Alt, and I think if Alt goes, there's a huge drop-off between him and Fashanu. I think all the offensive tackles below Alt are good, but there's a huge drop-off. So I think at 7, that's pretty rich for that 1B tackle. So I think getting a playmaker is probably more important. They can look to push back into the end of the first to get some of those guys that we talked about, the Morgans, the Rosengartens. I think they'll probably just get someone like that in the second round. Next after this run on quarterbacks, it's likely to go here. I was really torn on Patriots not taking Nix or Penix. I don't think they're close enough to take a guy like that. I think maybe they'll think about JJ McCarthy or getting McCarthy or May here, but I think if they don't, they're kind of like, we're too far away to get a quarterback, so they'll probably just roll with what they got for a year and just build up their team a little bit, knowing that they might get the best quarterback next year, whether that's Sanders' son or not. This is a tricky area here. I really think Seattle wants to trade back because my team doesn't have a second round pick. I think it's like 60-some picks before they pick again. And there is definitely like Saints, Colts, and Jags all need corners. I feel like they're going to get really scared that all the corners that they want might be gone, and that's the Eagles' biggest need. So I think the Eagles are going to trade up to get a cornerback, which gives Seattle a second round pick, even though it's fairly mid to late round. I think it's still worth it for both teams. You get your run on corners, you get offensive defensive tackles like pretty much going off the board all after that for a while. Get to my Seahawks, I could see them going Barton here, but because I think Newton is it's going to be higher on their board, they'll probably go there. And then there are second round guards that are decent that they can use the Eagles pick for. Patriots build up their offensive line in preparation for quarterback next year. I really think what they're going to do. They also could look at getting a later quarterback like Spentler Rattler, someone like that. I could definitely see them picking in the second round. Someone that maybe they like more than other people. Tyler Guyton, you get the edge corners and receivers at the end. That's kind of how it always pans out after these tackles and offensive tackles and defensive tackles go in this like late mid round. And that's it. So let's see how I do. I'll check back in on Monday and see if I got any of these picks right. All right, have a good night, everyone.